Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Honorable guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to be here this morning and have this opportunity to address this August forum of leading Sharia scholars, practitioners, and bankers. The themes selected for this summit are very relevant in the backdrop of prevailing economic conditions and will hopefully help us in identifying key issues and a way forward for the industry. Islamic finance that started off with some local initiatives creating only to the needs of the faith-sensitive individuals has now evolved into a vibrant global financial industry over the last 4 decades, attracting both Muslims and non-Muslims. The significant growth of Islamic finance is reflective of its increasing acceptability as a competitive system. The experience of Islamic financial institutions in the backdrop of recent financial crises has given further credence to their structures that draw strength from fundamental Islamic principles, which are very sound and prudent in nature. Rooted in Sharia principles, Islamic financial systems' unique characteristics of being asset-backed lends it prudence and stability if adopted in true spirit. The financial system has potential to save us from recurring crises in financial markets and their negative fallouts on real economies. Currently, Middle East and Asia are the largest Islamic financial markets, besides entities in countries like USA, UK, Europe, Luxembourg, Singapore, amongst the list of non-Muslim countries, have also started Islamic financial services. Islamic financial institutions have gone through a major transformation while proactively responding to market demands. With a network of more than 600 institutions operative in more than 75 countries around the globe and an asset base of over $1.13 trillion, the industry is steering towards improving its share in global financial markets during next few years. However, given the 22% of the world's population being Muslims, 1% contribution by Islamic financial institutions toward global financial assets and deposits depicts a significant untapped market. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan, having a large Muslim population of over 180 million, remains at the forefront in promoting Islamic finance. The sector has witnessed strong growth in the country during the last decade and now constitutes about 7.5% of the country's banking system, with an asset base of about rupees 560 billion rupees, equivalent to $6.5 billion, and a network of about 800 branches of both full-fledged Islamic banks and standalone branches. This growth trend is likely to gather further momentum with increasing awareness and level and expansion of Islamic banking branches in second and third-tier cities. The central bank of the country has played a key role in facilitating Islamic banking industry to reach a point of recognition that at local and international level. State Bank of Pakistan, while being a regulator, has also remained committed to being a facilitator for the industry. It is one of the few regulators that have introduced comprehensive legal, regulatory, and Sharia compliance framework for Islamic banking industry. It has issued model agreements for encouraging standardization with the industry, and in order to ensure that this does not undermine element of innovation, banks are allowed flexibility in developing their own Sharia compliant products. In order to bring harmony and to make local industry at par with international industry, the central bank is reviewing and customizing IOFI Sharia standards in a gradual manner. Development of Sharia inspection regime and an efficient enforcement framework for Sharia compliance in Islamic banking institution also exhibits regulators' commitment towards promoting Islamic finance in the country. The prevalence of significant unbanked population in the country due to a variety of reasons such as low penetration of banking system, and religion-based voluntary exclusion of individuals from the interest-based banking indicates a potential opportunity for Islamic banks. Given that business in big cities is moving out into second and third tier cities, especially rural areas, Islamic banks can take advantage of this opportunity. To facilitate further penetration, State Bank has recently provided a revised definition of rural areas to help industry to increase its outreach to medium and small cities and towns throughout the country. The business model of the current paradigm of Islamic banking industry, both at domestic and international level, has a relatively low mix of participatory modes such as Musharaka and Mudarba. Moving closer to these modes will help Islamic banking industry to bring in their fold clients such as SME that has been ignored by conventional finance industry because of its relatively high risk perception. Given its focus on real economy and ability to carry out profit and loss sharing transactions, Islamic banks can support true entrepreneurships, thus providing their service also to the SME sectors. Similarly, Islamic banks need to diversify their investment portfolio by increasing their financing in areas such as agriculture, where share of segment in overall financing by Islamic banking industry remains below 3%. A country like Pakistan, where agriculture has the biggest contribution in the domestic production, Islamic banks can increase their market share by reaching it out such segment. Housing finance, particularly the low-cost housing, is another largely untapped area which the Islamic banks can venture by developing suitable products. Islamic microfinance is yet another area where it can serve people who remain unbanked due to their inability of meeting criteria to be the clients of the commercial banks. By targeting underserved sector, it can not only increase its depth and breadth, but would also contribute to higher financial inclusion, which is the need of the time. The global acceptability and recognition of an other Sharia-compliant product, Sukuk, in raising funds is also increasing, with both Muslim and non-Muslims eyeing it as an opportunity to attract faith-centered capital. The Sukuk market has a multifaceted role as it brings great benefit for issuers that are in need of finance by providing them capital that has a cost linked to the real economy. The investors of these instruments can have their investment in real economic assets representing their share in them, which often generate good profits and returns. At the end of 2010, the global Sukuk market was standing at above US dollar, about 200 billion. The emergence of Sukuk market in Pakistan also received a welcoming response, particularly from Islamic banks and development financial institutions, as it provided them an attractive investment avenue. While there has been various Sukuk issues, both sovereign and corporate in the country, the portfolio size remains relatively small compared to countries like Malaysia and UAE. The government has identified the country's infrastructure needs in its medium-term development framework. These infrastructure needs come from diverse sectors, including energy, transport, communication, socio-economic sectors, etc. Islamic banks can exploit this business opportunity by developing financing structure for such projects. Ladies and gentlemen, the Islamic banking industry can grow at even higher pace by diversifying their market and product mix, by improving their human resource capacity and marketing campaign. The exclusive focus and relevance on debt or trade-based mode needs to be gradually reduced to allow for development of participatory products of Musharaka and Mudarba, which are the hallmark of the Islamic finance. To encourage the industry to venture into participatory mode of financing, State Bank has constituted a task force having representation of Islamic banks, business community, and accounting professionals, bankers, to develop an incentive framework for the promotion of such products. This framework will be aimed at encouraging Islamic banks to offer participatory mode of financing while minimizing issue of moral hazards and adverse selection, information asymmetries, and trust deficit between Islamic banking institutions and entrepreneurs. Innovation is a cornerstone in providing solution for financing need of Islamic banks clients. The innovation, however, is not possible without continuous supply of adequate human resource. Despite some improvement in the recent past, the availability of proper qualified and trained Islamic bankers still remains a key challenge being faced by the industry. State Bank of Pakistan has taken a number of initiatives to build Islamic banking institutions' human resource capacity by including introduction of Islamic banking certified courses at their training institute, NIBAF at Islamabad, introducing field training programs for field staff and collaborating with renowned national education institutions for introduction of Islamic banking courses in their regular programs. While State Bank would continue to support the industry, the Islamic banking institutions will have to significantly increase their investment in building their human resource capacity, which has been one of the key impediments in fast pace of growth of the industry. Marketing is yet another area that requires attention of Islamic banks need to be proactive in this area and make all-out efforts to reach the prospective clients. Lack of skilled staff also contributed towards relative weakness of Islamic banks in this area. State Bank has recently launched an awareness campaign to improve Islamic banking literacy, which is critically important for the future growth and development of the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, Islamic banking has come far from its humble origins and established its identity in these challenging times. Given its strong fundamentals and global attention that it has grabbed, I strongly believe that Islamic banking will experience significant growth in times to come. In the end, I would like to congratulate Publicitas and its partners for arranging this propitious event. I hope deliberation over next 2 days would help us in mapping out a futuristic strategy for sustained development and growth of the Islamic sector in the country. I thank you.